Hi everyone. In the previous session, I told you what are the data types. But now in today's session, I will tell you what are the different types of data types will be used in the Python. So basically, the in Python language, like as you already know that it is a dynamically typed programming language, and now I will tell you the basically the what are the different types of data types. Now in Python, the basic data types are integer, float, and boolean and string, as I already informed you in the previous session. So basically again I will repeat, the integer will be just mentioned as the whole value, which will not be including in the decimal like 78 or 1002 or something like that, but without a decimal value. In float we can just mention as the dot, and in the boolean we can just mention as true, and we have to mention with the capital letters like that first capital letter F. If you just mention as the FALS, like F is small, then it will be considered as a string. So here we can just mention as the F capital and the true capital, then it will be considered as a boolean type value. Now string, if I'm going to tell you about string, will be just mentioned like suppose as the orange. So now the orange will be consisting of all the characters. Now suppose within the double quotes, if I mention like some number, that will be also considered as a string, because within the double quotes whatever I have to mention, that will be mentioned as the string only. Example, all the characters like orange or apple or elephant, like that, that is also a string. 2 3 4 3 4 5 6 6 6 6, that is also a string. If I am going to just mention as the special case character, that is also considered as a string, because that will be inside the double quotes. Now I will tell you with the basic example like a equals to 45. So now how to print that particular thing? This particular thing I already informed you in the output statements, but again I will repeat with the help of different types of data types. Now a value is equals to, now here I will put a. Now if you want to mention, if I will run the program, then it will be simply, it will be going to print as a value is 45. Yeah, see, so don't print here, as I already informed you in the output statements. If you print a inside the double quote, that will be considered as a string. So now what is my output? Now what is my output? A value is equals to a itself. It will not going to print your value of the variable. So now if I am going to mention a, that means this will be considered as a variable, because I have separated the string, my output, and I have separated with the variable with the help of comma. So this will be considered as a variable, and inside the double quote it will be considered as my output string. Now suppose if I'm going to just mention as the b equals to 6.7. Yeah, before that I want to tell you like how you know that what is your data type of a, how you print that particular, how you prove that. I will just mention type of a. You can just run the program, right click, run, and you can just mention as here as class of integer. That means this will be just a data type of integer. If I am going to just mention as the 5.6, I will just run the program once again. You can just mention as float. Now if now there is one question. Now suppose if I am going to just mention as 5.0, 5.0 is nothing but the 5. So what you will consider, this will be considered as an integer, or this will be considered as a float? So basically this will be considered as a float only, because here I have just mentioned as the dot 0. So basically if I will run the program, you can just clearly it is mentioned as float. So 5.0 also will be considered as a float itself. Now if I'm going to just mention as like apple, I will just run the program. You can just mention as class is string, and it will be going to just print it as it is, whatever I have mentioned inside the a. Now the last thing is like boolean data type, true. Okay, so here it will be going to just mention as bool data type, that will be mentioned as boolean data type. Now suppose I told you, now if I will just mention as the small t true, now what will happen, it will be going to just consider as a variable which is not defined, because true is not an inbuilt character, right? So that's why it will going to just mention as a, now the compiler will consider as a variable. That's why it is mentioned as name true is not defined. So we have to just mention as true, T capital, run the program. It is going to mention as bool data type, and the value should be true. So same here for the false also, I will just run the program. Here you can just mention as false. Okay, so these are the things. Yeah, so that's it. So this is for for today's session, and here I already told you all the four basic data types inside the Python, that is integer, float, Boolean, and the string. In the next session, I will tell you in detail like what are the, I will just show you, and in the next session I will just tell you what are the variables and the input statements. Okay, so see you in the next one.